All right, we're live.
Awesome. What's up, guys? Shawn Bowen, Full Circle Investment Group and wholesalingoutofthebox.com. Back at it again for another lunchtime live. And just like the title says today, guys, we are talking about the lending side of things. What does it look like to work with a lender? What does it look like to vet that lender? Are they local to the market? Are they familiar with lending money in the area? Are they a .com lender, right? So the difference between a private money lender, a hard money lender, we're talking about points and percentages, APR versus fixed interest, talking about, 6-month notes at a certain rate, and then vetting those guys for people that they've lent to, talking to those people that have borrowed money from them, right, and worked with them. So what does this look like and how do you go through it? So one of the big things that we focus on is that we want to be able to talk to these guys and have a relationship, right? This is a longevity play. This is not a one and done, a 2Z, 3Z thing, right? This is lenders working with borrowers to get to know each other. So we really want to understand each other and how, if shit hits the fan, are you going to go to McDonald's and get a job and pay me back is what I want to know, right? So I want that to be you are taking the time to go through the process and break down everything. Let's say, we as the borrower or we as the lender, I want to have that transparent conversation of what is going on. I want you to know your comps. I want you to know your repairs. I want you to be able to explain to me your timeline on what it looks like when all of this goes to work, right? And if it doesn't work, what's the worst case scenario, right? If you don't make a dime as the borrower, what are you doing to get the money back to the lender to know that you got them back their principal and you got them back their interest? And bare minimum, you're going to go back to them and be able to borrow more money again, right? So this is very important to understand and know. So again, taking the time to really know your numbers and present that as a full presentation package, whatever you want to call it, that the lender can review in a full scope. Right? I don't want to have to come back, or we as a borrower don't want to have to come back and ask for, let's just say me as a borrower, I don't want to have the lender come back and ask for me like, oh, I didn't see the comps. I didn't see the pictures. I don't see your breakdown of scope of work that's going to be done. I don't see a timeline for when this is going to be done. And I don't see any paperwork or, let's say, Excel sheets or any mathematical formulas showing why this is the deal and why we should fund it and or why I should be able to borrow the money from the lender, right? So really taking the time to understand these numbers and give a complete presentation, a very detailed presentation. I want to go through and read what Ashley gave you guys here. It says, there are so many .com lenders out there right now, and sure, they can be great and work out well. But more often than not, they'll fall flat. It says today, we're going to talk to you about what it's like to what to look for in a lender, and the real estate is a relationship business. So finding the right lender is very important, especially if you want to continue to grow. So again, that goes back to how are we doing this so that it's a longevity play? How are we borrowing money and or lending money with certain people that we know is a solid deal, right? And now let's talk down to specifics. Are you willing to sign a personal guarantee on the home? Or on the loan, let's just say the loan itself, because most of these loans are done off collateral, usually the home itself. It's not the borrower, right? Are you willing to sign a personal guarantee that says that if things were to go awry and there is no interest to be paid back, that lender could come after you personally? Are you willing to sign that? Because I'll tell you, if you're not, you're probably not going to get the loan, right? People want to know until they get to know you well that you're putting it all on the line. And if this is any wiggle way out scenario, they're probably not going to want to work with you. Versus the .com lender is going to charge you a lot of fees. They're going to charge you a big upfront payment, and they're going to want 10 to 20% down because that's their security, right? That's their security of having a lot of money on the table that more than likely keeps a lot of people from walking away. Versus when you get into the private lenders or the guys that are local, right? And they've got the money that they're overseeing and they're making sure it's going to work correctly and that it's all very safe. Those are the guys that you want to look at them like a safety net. You want to look at those guys as they're there to protect you, right? It's their money. It's their interest, and they're going to make sure it goes and does what it's supposed to. So don't look at a lender, private or hard money. Don't look at them as a bad thing. Look at them as a good thing. They're there to protect you so that you don't need to reinvent the wheel to figure this out. Be there to learn. Ask as many questions from those guys as possible, right? They've been around for a long time. They're in the position they are because they've done a lot of it, right? They've either done the rehabs themselves or they've done the lending themselves, and they know what it takes to get the job done, right? And to be safe and make sure it happens and makes money. So use that relationship that you're building with that person to ask questions. And if that lender is not willing to be open with you to give that knowledge, maybe go to somebody else, right? You should be able to ask these questions. You should be able to understand clearly, what is this loan to value for? Why? Why do you require me to have these certain pieces of paperwork in play? What is a mechanic's lien agent, and why do I have to use it? Why do I have a 10% overage in my budget? Why is it sometimes 15% overage in the budget? What are all these what we considered safety net features for that you have no idea why, but because you haven't heard of it, maybe it sounds as it's hindering, right? It's not comfortable, or you just don't know. So really deep dive with that lender and ask those questions, right? I would love to help people with that. If you guys are interested in that and you're looking to do some joint ventures, please reach out to us. We're actually going to leave you a link here and make it to where you guys can go and start working with us on that, right? We're going to joint venture with people locally and take the money that we have, put it to work, and handhold you to a certain degree, right? Of course, we want guys that have experience to start with first. And then if you're not experienced, we're probably not going to be a good fit for each other, right? So we want those people to have experience, have a track record of deals they've done, and be able to help them, right? And then maybe a little bit better than what they've been doing. So guys, I want to take the time to say thank you so much for listening to us today. Hopefully this is helpful. If you're out there trying to move from wholesaling, or maybe not even move from wholesaling, but move in a parallel where you're wholesaling and you can rehab, right? Then can you work with somebody that allows you to use that money, go to work, take the deal down, right? And not necessarily to work for everybody. But if you are, hopefully this talk helped you. And if it did, please leave us a comment below and let us know if it's something that, or what you might do different, right? Are you local to this market? We're in the Hampton Roads, or in your local market. What are you seeing that your lenders are doing? What are you seeing that your borrowers, or maybe you are a lender and working with borrowers, what are you seeing there that they do different, right? Share with us a little bit of your experiences and some pitfalls and positives that you've seen doing the game. And again, hopefully this was helpful to you. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to it. As always, if you need anything to deal with wholesaling, please check us out at wholesalingoutofthebox.com. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot. Later.